Riven had been a frontier courier long enough to know the difference between danger and delay. Danger announced itself. Delay wore you down quietly. He was human, built lean from years of travel between outposts most people never saw. Scar along his forearm from a hull breach. Calloused hands from manual controls most ships no longer used. He didn't rush. He endured. That's why he'd been chosen for this route. The Oralis range wasn't mapped cleanly. Magnetic interference scrambled drones. Automated transports failed more often than they arrived. Supplies still had to get through. That was Riven's job. Kelra sat beside him in the crawler's navigation seat, wings folded tight against her back. An Avari, light-boned, adapted for altitude. Her species had learned long ago that survival wasn't about force, but balance. She wasn't muscle. She was the map. "We're 2 degrees off optimal ascent," she said calmly, eyes tracking the terrain projection. Wind shears shifting again. Riven adjusted the controls, the crawler groaning as it climbed another ridge. Outside, stone and ice blurred past the viewport. The mountain wasn't dramatic. It was relentless. "I can compensate," he said. "I know," Kelra replied. "That's the problem." The crawler jolted hard as the ground gave way beneath one tread. Riven corrected instantly, jaw tightening as the vehicle stabilized inches from a sheer drop. Silence followed, heavy, earned. Kelra didn't look at him yet. She waited until his breathing slowed. "You've been pushing since the lower pass," she said. "No rest, no recalibration." "If we stop, we lose daylight," Riven replied. "And if you misjudge one more correction," she said evenly, "we lose everything." The mountain howled against the hull, wind rattling metal like a warning. Riven finally leaned back, shoulders burning. The truth pressed in harder than the altitude. He was exhausted. Not the kind that fades with sleep. The kind that convinces you that stopping means failure. If this moment feels familiar, if you've ever kept pushing because stopping felt like quitting, take a second to like and subscribe. These stories are for people who carry weight quietly. Kelra shifted closer, anchoring herself against the console. Not touching him, just present. "These mountains aren't here to test your strength," she said. "They test your pacing." Riven let the crawler idle, just for a minute. The engines cooled. The noise softened. When he took the controls again, his movements were cleaner. Less force, more intention. They climbed through switchbacks carved by time and erosion, each ridge revealing another behind it. Progress wasn't dramatic. It was cumulative. Hours later, the crawler reached the final rise. Beyond it, open sky. Riven eased the vehicle onto stable ground and shut the engines down. For the first time since the ascent began, he allowed himself to exhale fully. Kelra unfolded her wings slightly, stretching against the thin air. "You see it now," she said. Riven nodded. Every mountain he'd faced wasn't an obstacle. It was a step he couldn't skip. Not toward survival, toward purpose. They would descend soon, deliver the cargo, move on. But the lesson stayed. Dreams weren't blocked by mountains. They were built on them. Keep climbing. Rest when you need to. And remember, the ground beneath you rises with every step.